One of the greatest problem and asset, one of the assets we have, and one of the greatest downfall is that Nigeria is so diverse.
Yeah.
Because we're diverse, we're not teaching cultural integration. Why is it that we're not teaching kids in schools? I remember when I was in schools in Nigeria, they were teaching me French, but they never tried to teach me Igbo, which I don't speak. They never tried to teach me Hausa, which I don't speak.
Oh, well, they did. I had all those ones. That's the difference. We were taught Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba.
Yeah, but I went to public school.
Okay.
Until so that's the difference. But if it's a standardized thing, you understand, whereby if you're an Igbo person who can speak Igbo, or from an Igbo parent and you speak Igbo fluently,
right,
it's suggestible that part of your curriculum would be Hausa, and which is a three major tribe.
Okay.
Hausa and Yoruba. Okay. Vis-a-vis, if you like Hausa, it will bring cultural integration, because if we can be able to communicate with one another, you understand each other's language, it's most likely we're beginning to learn about each other's culture.
Right, so how's that a concern though? Because I see that as a problem, right? As a problem that can solve something. I'm not really sure what it will solve, because I think we're past that time.
I think it's about integration though.
How would that help integration? If I'm taught how to speak in Aura, for instance, if they teach me how to, I'm educated in Aura, right? Aura is just one small place. I learn how to speak Aura, everything, and then I decide I want to travel to Anambra. If I get to Anambra, nobody there has heard of Aura before. That means I'm confined to that place.
But the fact that you were taught while you're in that little village, being taught in Aura language, but they're teaching you Igbo as well. They're teaching you Hausa language as well.
Now you're saying the different thing now.
No, I'm saying with the language fusion and cultural fusion, the integration element, knowledge is one thing, to be able to access knowledge. Knowledge is one thing that we need to be able to teach differently in Nigeria. Not people are educated without being knowledgeable in Nigeria. They're educated by being through the system, primary school, secondary school, even without actually acquiring full knowledge.
Right.
But the best way to access knowledge comes with communication and understanding. A child that is in a village where everybody speaks Asian, Igbo, and everything, but goes to school, the only time that child come across people, maybe by coincidence in the speaking terms, in absence in person, come across any form of learning. Standardized learning is in English. After the 8-7 how many hours spent in schools, you go back to home and everybody speaks something. Nothing is taken back home.
Yeah, so you see, I was saying to you before when we talked about the concerns, right? I don't think we have any business learning any of the local languages out now, because I think we're past that time. I'll tell you why. Remember in this world before, we had Aramaic, we had Latin, we had some languages that just died out, right? When it comes to education per se in Nigeria, my main concern is that they don't even know what to do anymore. My concern is looking at it from what are you actually teaching these people that will enhance them. So if you take an average Nigerian kid now, regardless of what the situation, you take him to an environment where he's supposed to thrive, will they struggle? Then why would they struggle? Not leaving him in that environment, because that environment is at the moment is not offering the potential that they can get. Is that a concern that we're facing in Nigeria now, where the average child in Nigeria is not getting that basic education, regardless of the language being used?
I think there's two things. There's academic learning, there's a social development, academic development. An average Nigerian kid, if you take them outside Nigeria, maybe to the middle class and above, and from somebody who observe education across, we excel. That's why you see most of the foreign universities dominated by Nigerians and who study in Nigeria, and they're doing fantastic. What they lack mostly is the social skill, which they're not being properly taught in Nigeria. The social skill, the social etiquette, the social awareness of doing. Because you see, this because of our cultural thing as well, you understand, which is embedded in the way we actually being brought up. Many Nigerians, it's like good one. Let me just digress a bit. It's like we see some of the doctors and nurses that come from Nigeria to UK. Medically, they're good. But when they do their assessment and there's this test they do. Most Nigerians fail it. Bedside manners.
Right.
They call it bedside manners.
Right.
Where you see a patient.
I know what it is. An educational factor.
It's an educational factor that is a concern.